Hey guys, so we're going live on YouTube again, and this time we're going live with Tellemkevya. I call her Nikivia, but she goes by Kevya and Nikivya as well. And we've known each other since like what, 2019, I want to say. So before the pandemic, we have, I think as friends been through a lot of highs and lows, but you've always been there, just someone, just like a positive light, just always encouraging me. And I've been wanting to do a live with you since the pandemic. And I'm just so glad that, we're friends and we're doing this finally in 2025, the first day of the year. And I really want to talk to you about goals for this year. And we want to make you said a Google PowerPoint or like a presentation.
Yeah,
Um,
so that we
yes,
can document this and kind of like one thing that I know about goals. Well, also let me
yes, let's
start
let's
by
let's
saying,
let's tell our fans a little bit about you.
so I'm Nikivia. My family has always called me Kiva. It kind of split my identity a little bit. So professionally, I am Nikivia the Creativa, your friendly neighborhood marketing diva. And then Tellemkevya is kind of like a personal brand where I get to, kind of be myself and let my hair down. But yeah, I appreciate your kind words, and we have been through a lot, and I appreciate your friendship. So thank you so much for having me.
Yay. And I want to definitely post your YouTube channel. Your
Oh,
content is amazing. Like the editing, the quality of the videos. Like, what's the difference between Telem Kiva and then Nikivia the Creativa? Like I feel like you're more polished and more I
well,
mean,
that's perfectionism though. Like, I feel like I would create way more content if I wasn't so like focused on being polished. And that's really what Tellemkeva was meant to be is I make a point not to wear makeup in those videos. I make a point to kind of just be myself with no kind of enhancements or masking because it's a exercise in it's basically like exposure therapy because I what I took from the world is that you always have to be cute, you always have to be polished, you always have to be together, and have yourself together. And that's not reality. Reality is messy. Reality is painful. Sometimes there's a mistake. Sometimes there's clothes on the floor in the background, and that's just real life. Versus the Nikivia, the Creativa brand and Impossibility and all those things, that's more career oriented. I started a business this year. Impossibility is my branding and marketing firm. So that content is meant to attract business. It's meant to share my philosophies about marketing. I've been a consultant for what, 7 years now. And so that profile is meant to talk about my career, talk about my journey as an entrepreneur, and talk about my marketing expertise. So that is a little bit more refined and polished.
right. I mean, they're both amazing content. I mean, I get so excited every time you post. It's always we walk away learning something, we walk away inspired, and I love, the vulnerable sides of you that you share. And both brands amazing. What are your goals as far as these brands go? Like where do you want to see these both brands? Like is it kind of hard to juggle both of them?
Yes, it is. So shout out to my video editor. If anybody's interested, I will definitely share his information. His name is Albert. Alberto.
Mm.
But yeah, I started working with Alberto like 6 months ago. Because I was editing my own YouTube videos, but like between running the business and dealing with everything, it just got to be too much. So my goal for Impossibility and the the Creativa is to, number one, get consistent again with recording content. I kind of got busy in Q4 and I haven't recorded anything. So number one, create a routine for recording consistently. Number two, I really want to launch a course this year.
Mhm.
Um, I think it's gonna be on how to write a website. ChatGPT be ChatGPTing, but it still can't write a website the way that it needs to be written unless you have the right framework. So I launched an ebook this year, a free ebook, and if you want to give the link to the people, I can definitely share that. It has some outlines in it for how to structure your homepage, your about page, and your service pages on your website. It's called Get Your Digital House in Order. It's a super, everything I do is sassy. Like
That is so cute.
everything I do is sassy and sarcastic. Like no matter no matter what brand it is, like it's gonna be sassy and sarcastic. That's just who I am as a person.
Yes.
With love, sassy with
Yes.
love. That's that's who I am. So yeah, I have that going on. We're going to take that ebook, that free ebook, and we're going to build courses off the back end
Right.
of that. Um and then one more goal for Impossibility and Kevya the Creativa is I am going to start a coaching offering as well, because one of the things that I've realized is that sometimes even if they can't afford to like bring the whole agency on board, it because I love being with people and I love supporting people,
Mhm.
coaching is not a heavy lift for me. Like I can sit and listen and read a few of your documents and I can be
Yeah.
like, this is the story that that you need to be telling. Like this is what's missing from from the story that you're telling. So I do plan to launch a coaching offering this year and at least one speaking engagement. I'm trying to be on somebody's stage this year.
Like with a
A
microphone and everything.
panel, a keynote, like a workshop in a larger conference. Like I'm manifesting something to where I am on stage. So I had back in April, I moderated a panel. So it's not difficult. I just have to be intentional about offering my speaker things. So that goes into launching Nakevia.com.
Wow. Okay.
So
Are these
later this
goals,
year.
are
Huh?
they written somewhere? How often do you check in? Do monthly check-ins? Like, we're just being real here. We need accountability, right? We need each other to hold
Exactly.
one another accountable. Like, one of my goals, especially for this page, is to reach 1,000 subscribers. You know, as of today, I have 874, and so maybe you can give me some advice too on how I can get there before the year ends. Like, how does one grow on YouTube and like even like monetize? Like, I don't understand this part of the world. Like, I know we went out together to Sunday sessions and you were kind of introducing yourself as like a micro content creator, and I was like, I've never heard you introduce yourself that way at I guess that could be a networking event. Everybody was out there representing their businesses. We had a great time. And like, I was like, we were both, outside doing our thing, making connections, growing, I guess, our network, our connections. And so have you figured out the formula? Like, to success and making it on the internet, because you did go viral. Let's talk about that clip. Remember, you have hit a certain number of Instagram followers, you know?
So, okay. So the micro influencer. Anybody who has less than 5,000 followers is technically considered a micro influencer. So that's kind of my way of trying to get people to be comfortable with me filming them or filming myself in their presence. So I just kind of, put it that way. As far as monetization on YouTube, ooh baby, that bar is high, honey. Um it's I think it's 10,000 subscribers and like a certain amount of watch hours.
Wow.
So like that YouTube monetization is super high. Um,
Wow.
one thing that could lead to monetization not on YouTube but on social media is changing your personal profile to a professional one.
Mhm, mhm.
So that way you get access to monetization features that way. Cuz I have friends who get paid for
Wow.
posting on Facebook all day. And I'm like, they use it like Twitter, and based on if they keep their engagement at a certain level, like they get a check every month from Facebook or from
Wow.
Meta. But yeah, so a low also Lemon 8 has all of these little posting channels. Are you on Lemon 8?
No, I'm not. I've never even heard of this.
Okay, so Lemon 8 is the new platform. It is TikTok's version of Instagram. They always have all of these challenges and stuff like that. They're always having giveaways. So, if you want to be a product influencer, I would definitely, well, if you do photo-based content, I have a Lemonade. I have a Tellemkevya Lemonade. I don't post there often because they only allow 60-second videos because it's a photo platform.
Mhm.
And most of my videos are longer than 60 seconds. So, and I haven't been doing much photo content. So, getting back re-engaged on Lemonade is one of my goals for Tellemkevya this year. Just because they have so many cute challenges. Like Lemon 8 is cool because they tell you as a creator what they want you to post about.
Yeah.
And so they give you the hashtags, they give you the subject matter, and you just create the content and post it and use the hashtags and stuff like that. And you have all these opportunities to win boxes with like cosmetics or like skincare products. Like it's a really cool platform. I definitely recommend checking out Lemon 8. It's
Wow.
lemon with the number 8.
Wow. Okay, I'm totally gonna look into that. God, you are just such like a wealth of knowledge and information. Like you are just a really good friend, business partner. Like you are good for growth, like for
That's who I
wealth.
am though. So I don't know if
Yes.
you've ever heard of human design. That's going to be one of my coaching offerings is human design. When I was in Colombia last year, I got introduced to human design. It's like astrology on steroids. Um, when you Astrology kind of accounts for the overall like proclivities of a personality, but human design like dives in and it makes you feel so good because it tells you your unique gifts and your unique profile. So, my overall energy type is a manifesting generator, meaning that I am a ball of energy. I am always on go. I'm always creating. I am meant to be a multifaceted creative. But also, another part of my chart is that my profile is 1-3, meaning that I am the establisher of knowledge and truth. Like that, they have 12 different profiles, and mine just so happens to be 1-3, meaning that the reason why I feel like a well of knowledge because I am a research junkie. Like I have this unquenchable thirst for knowledge. So I'm always reading, I'm always researching. When somebody
It's
asks me a question
really
and I don't know the answer, best believe you probably triggered a research binge that's going to last a week, because I'm going to be obsessed until I know everything about it. And so then when the three in my profile is how everybody sees me, which is as an experimenter. I am the person who's going to go and do it with no fear. The fear part is a perception. I have all the fear in the world. Um but people see me as a doer, and that's how I interact with the world, is that I will be researching and reading and taking in information, and then all of a sudden you see me moving and doing something, you're like, what is she doing? It's because that's who I'm meant to be in the world. I am meant to take in information and act on it and share what I learn.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So, like, do you remember how when we were at Sunday sessions, there was like this one individual in like a wife beater? Do you remember? Who had like
The birthday
really like
guy?
nice muscles? Yes, yes, the birthday guy, you
Okay.
know? So
Yeah.
I ended up following him on Instagram and messaging him, you know? And he's super cool and like down to earth. And he was like, hey, why don't you come to my birthday party, you know? And so he's like, it's at my house. And there was like a bunch of other people there. And there was a lady who was doing the human design thing,
Really?
like the whole chart thingy. There was like a huge line of people who were trying to do the whole session with her because it can last up to an hour, you know? And like,
I
I
can
mean,
pull your chart.
yeah, it was really like, it was really cool how like there were so many, it's all connected to like the stuff that we do in real life. And then I remember like, how there was a lot of women in line wanting to be read by this woman. I think her name was like Pam or Pamela or something like that. Um, and then I remember making another friend there, you know, like just another connection, you know, that I thought was like, you know, that I thought was really cool and like really exciting. Cause like at first I was like, ugh, like why am I just going to these things? Like I'm just so tired of just attending all these things that people keep inviting me to. And then there was someone who was there who really stood out to me, who was really, really like cool, you know? And like we exchange information and we, you know, we continue to talk, you know, whenever we get a chance. And I'll have to tell you more about that like off camera, you know, because I don't want to look like this crazy person. But like I just feel like it just goes back to the connection, you know, the connection, the growth. You know, we're all trying to make this place a better place for ourselves and others. And I know you're so focused on community and this connection that I made. I actually sent them the video of us at, you know, the Dicky Day, you know? And I know that I want you to kind of talk about that too, because I do want to go to the celebration that you're starting. You know how you were trying out outfits for the
Yeah.
Black
Black
History
History Month.
Month? And then
Yeah.
there's an event that's happening, right? That you're hosting, co-hosting, and I'm definitely gonna be there for sure. I'm gonna pick out a cute
Ah,
outfit. But you need it. I feel like there's another part of you that you do so many other things that some of us who know you know about this, but like you can share that too. You know, like there's a lot going on here, Nakia. There's a lot going on here. We need to write it all down because I
I'm
need
a
to like,
managing. Like, there's
yes,
always going to be a lot going on. Like, who I am as a person is a lot going on. Yeah, so you're talking about my community work. I
yes,
am also a fierce advocate. Well, not fierce. Yeah, we won't downplay it. Um, how I identify in my community work is I am a good troublemaker. White supremacy hates to see me coming. Do not. I am a quality of life social innovator. Like who I am in the world, I want the world to be more inclusive. I want the world to be more friendly to women. I want the world to be more friendly to people of color. And so every opportunity that I have, I try to contribute to that. So what you're pointing towards is our Black History Month celebration. I'm the vice president of the board for the Dickey Museum in Taylor, Texas. It's a Black History museum that also has like a public health clinic, community health clinic component to it. our building burned down in 2022. We were the victim of arson. But we are still fundraising and we are still programming without a building. So Juneteenth, I'm also the chair of the citywide committee for Juneteenth in Taylor. We are one of the first communities in Central Texas to have a Juneteenth parade on the 19th. Most
Wow.
people do it the Saturday before. Austin does it the Saturday before, but we have, because the city government is closed that day and all the employees are off, et cetera, et cetera, we
Yes.
actually make them work on their day off. And we do we do a parade and a little brunch activity on the actual June 19th. But February 1st is going to be our Black History Month celebration. It's at
Okay.
Taylor ISD's event center, my old high school that they turned into an elementary school. But yeah, I'm really excited about it. It's always a good time. We have a soul food meal, typically baked chicken, greens, sweet
Do you have to
potatoes.
buy tickets? How much is it? Like,
The tickets are $20.
okay,
Super
okay.
cheap compared to most like
Events.
banquets and yeah. So the tickets are $20. If they're under 18, I think it's $5. But yeah, it's a good time. We give out awards, excellence awards, for members of the community. So typically there's somebody that we recognize who does community work. There's a black business that we recognize, and there is a educator of the year, and we typically give away a scholarship as well that night.
Wow, wow. I had so much fun at that event. That it was a, what was it called? It was just called Dicky
It was
Day, right?
Dicky Day. Yeah, it's the annual Feast of Sharing and Health Fair. Dr. Dickey was one of the only black doctors in Central Texas, rural Central Texas, not Austin, but like Williamson County, Milam County. Um, he served, and he was also an advocate. So he was advocating for better plumbing on the east side of Taylor. He was advocating for black people to have during segregation, he was advocating for us to have our own park, for us to have our own pool so that kids could swim and stuff like that. The pool is actually still there, even though the city doesn't utilize it anymore.
Oh, yeah, I saw a lot of his family members were there at that
Yeah.
event as well. I mean, it was, I remember like it's on my YouTube, like that clip of us telling people where are we, what are we doing? But I do plan on getting more content, for Black History Month with you, hopefully. You know,
Yeah,
we'll do a
yeah.
little vlog thingy, like, come with us, and it'll be my first time attending because I feel like I really had to, just put it in my calendar, show up because I'm a little further away, but not too far. That's not like impossible.
I
But like
appreciate you because there are people who live in Taylor that don't attend. So thank you.
no, that was so much fun. Oh my God. It was an excellent event and you did a great job putting it together. I could just tell everybody had a great time. So what
Yeah,
is
it's
your
a team
vision?
effort.
Yes,
The
what is
vision
your
for my
vision
community work.
for
Sorry.
this event that's coming in? How big? What is your goal? How many people? What's the venue like? Like what should I expect as a first time person attending?
There's
And I
like
want
10
to
to
help
12
out. Huh?
there's like 10 to 12 tables in that event. So I would love to see all of the tables full.
Right.
10 to 12 tables, and there's like 8 seats at each table. So if I could have a packed out room, that would be amazing. Um, what else do I want to see? I just want to see people coming together and like fellowshipping. The invitation says cultural
Attire?
attire recommended or appreciated. So I would love for people to come in outfits that represent their culture. Like it is Black
Thanks for
History Month.
letting me know this is an opportunity for me to dress up, to get
Yeah, yeah, it is
dressed up.
definitely an occasion to go all out and look good. Um, I don't necessarily want everybody to put on African attire. I want to see you guys represent your culture, and I want to see people, I want to see a melting pot of people, because Black History Month, yes, it's about celebrating Black History Month and telling our stories, but it's also about just inclusion and representation. So I really would love to see multiple cultures represented in the room.
Wow. Oh my God. I'm probably gonna bring my sister or maybe a plus one. Who knows? That is so cool. Okay, if you have a flyer that's ready to be shared, I would love to share it on
Yeah.
my pages with my friends and my circle because a lot of people want to do more. You know what I'm saying? There's so many people who want to be involved, who want to help out. Like who really want to be involved with the community, and I feel like you're always providing us with opportunities on your socials, especially Facebook.
Yeah. Also, who I am as a person is a connector. So
Yeah.
anybody who wants to get involved, even if it's not in Taylor and they want to get involved in Austin, I have all the friends. So if you want to work in health equity and become a doula, or just help people find access to resources in the community, I have tons of friends who run nonprofits. There's all the volunteer opportunities in the world.
What?
So if you want to get involved in in the Central Texas community, 9 times out of 10, if you tell me what you're passionate about, are you
Right.
passionate about women's health? Are you passionate about the unhoused? Are you passionate about youth? Are you passionate about making sure that people are able to bridge the technology gap? I got people. Are you passionate about entrepreneurs? Like, I have people who need mentors for their business entrepreneur groups. Like, baby, if you trying to volunteer, if you trying to give your time, I can tell you where to put it. Trust me.
Girl, I got all the time in the world. That's why I was there, sitting in that, greeting people and signing them in that day,
Yeah.
and just
I mean, that seat is also open for Black History Month if you want to be the
girl,
greeter.
I will 1000% sign me up, girl. I am totally there as, as a volunteer, as an attendee. Like I am a liver. I like to live life, and experience things and just try different things. And I'm just so grateful for your friendship and
Oh.
just this connection cuz like talked about a lot, Nakivia. We talked about a lot. We talked about a lot of goals. We've talked about a lot of things you're already doing. So, how do you plan on achieving these goals this year?
Right now, so to round it out, my personal goals are to just stay consistent with my
Okay.
fitness and health journey. Um, Eventually, I'm trying to get back to my digital nomad life, so getting
Right,
back to
right.
traveling and all those things. Um, and then as far as love and relationships, I'm chilling. I want to learn how to date. Like, I want to date with no strings, no expectations. Like, can we hang out? Can we get to know each other? And just really learning how to find comfort and safety in that kind of uncertainty that comes with
Right,
dating.
right, right.
Like, in the past, like, I ended up jumping into commitments and stuff like that because I just couldn't handle the uncertainty that it brings to my nervous system. But also, if you are in a situation and it causes you that much discomfort and that much, like, fear of not knowing, then you
Mhm.
probably shouldn't be associated with that person. So, like,
Agreed.
just knowing when to walk away, like recognizing those red flags and being okay with like cutting it off immediately.
Right. And without naming any names, you know how we went to an event together and like there was somebody there that I was like trying to not have a conversation with, right?
Yeah.
Like on a scale from 1 to 10, like what would you rate him?
I mean, I would say he's about an 8,
Ooh,
8.5.
that's
But
pretty
like,
high.
yeah, he's cute, but his personality doesn't seem like something that I would personally want to interact with. Like,
What?
looks alone, he's like an 8. But as
Okay, are
far
we talking
as
about the same person here? Because like their personality is like phenomenal. Like I'm trying to
but
remember.
see, I'm judging from a perspective of having the background of how he behaves with you. So
But he
like
never been like not kind. Like he's just
not I mean
a
not
chill person.
kind, but also not like engaged or super like attentive. So
Yeah.
that colors my perception of people. Like how you treat people is way more important to me than how you treat me. Because you can be kind and affectionate and super intensive, but who
Okay.
I am as a person is community. So if I don't see you offer that same kindness and compassion to other people, like that level of my level of respect for you declines a little bit.
Okay, what about the birthday boy? Do you remember what he looks like? Cause he's super nice too and really handsome. Like they're never gonna watch this. They're just I'm definitely not their type. I think you're more their type, girl. You
I've
know?
slept since then. I mean, I remember that he was a little on the short side. So,
You think so? I don't remember that at all. I remember I have seen him at least 2 to 3 times after since then, you know?
really, see, I only saw him that one time.
Yeah, and you I remember your first words were like, I did not even look at him like that. And I was like, did you see his biceps? And you were like,
I mean,
you
I saw, but you have to remember, I am a Black woman who lives in Central Texas.
right, right.
Like, I tend to only engage or look at men that way when they show interest first. Because,
I need
like,
to learn that. I need it because
I
I'm
don't daydream and make up possibilities and
that's me,
scenarios.
girl. That's me.
I used to do
Neither.
that. I don't do
Yeah.
that anymore. Like I literally had somebody sitting next to me at the party last night, and he was like, he was like, Kiva, you don't even know my name. He was like, I've seen you so many times, and you don't even know my name. It's because men, for me, I'm working on decentering men in my life. So
Hmm.
back in the day, I used to meet a guy in passing. Like we could be at an event like I was at last night, and oh my God, you're so kind, you're so sweet, and you fine. Like I could see us being X, Y, and Z. I don't waste my energy on that no more.
Girl,
Like,
like, teach me because I don't want to do that this year. I did it last year. I'm not gonna lie, because like you know how I keep talking about these brothers, right? Who I was really attracted to. I was like, oh my God, he's so gorgeous. Like he's just a good looking man, right? And then one leads to another, to another. You just keep meeting these attractive like men who I'm attracted to, but I can say safely it's not mutual, you know? It's
well, that's the
one-sided.
thing. We
Mhm.
have got to stop, like, me personally, I don't pursue men. Like, if they're not going, because once you pursue them, like you're setting up this dynamic to where you're always giving them your energy. A
Mm.
man that don't give me any energy is a man that ain't getting none of mine.
Mm-mm,
Like
mm-mm.
I'm gonna be sweet and I'm gonna be friendly because that's who I am as a person. But past that, I'm not hitting your inbox. I'm not texting you. I'm not doing none of that unless that's the energy that you're giving me. Because that's we as women, we are fixers, we are pleasers, like especially when you got trauma like I got trauma. Like the people pleasing, the going out of my way, that
Right,
reel that
right,
I shared
girl.
earlier. I'm not going out of my way. I'm
Back
not
and forth,
I'm not going back and forth and I'm not
above and beyond.
going above and beyond for none of that. Like I'm not
Wow.
doing it. So if you want to date me, then be ready to bring that energy or else you don't exist in my world. I have
Wow.
so much we've talked today. I have so much other stuff going on. What I don't have time for is to waste my energy on a man.
Wow, wow. That is the energy that we are
So
going forward.
my recommendation to you is to find a way to put that energy to so what you're describing is romanticizing.
Right, right.
We meet someone, we're attracted to them, they make our little stomach go pitter patter, our heart go pitter patter, and now we're like, oh my God, I can see a future with them.
Yes, yes,
What you
yes.
do is you take that romanticizing energy and you focus it on yourself. It don't got nothing to do with that person and everything about calling in what you want.
Yes.
So you still do the daydream, but it's you and that other human don't got no face because you are leaving space for the universe to organize on your behalf. What you want is what you want, regardless of who it's attached to.
Right.
So you see the biceps. Okay. In my mind, I am in this wonderful relationship. He takes care of me, he is attentive to me, and he got these biceps that I just want to pour honey on. Like, so like it's not you don't put that person at the center of your fantasy. You put yourself at the center of your fantasy. You put what you want
Right,
at the
right.
center of your fantasy.
Right. I'm so proud of myself because I will say I like that the last friend that I made, I've been like dying to like share all this with you, but I was like, there's nothing to share. It's just like a one-sided love story? So you have to give me credit there that I've just been like, you know?
A one-sided love story is just your you're creating. So I want you to also change your relationship to that. Like I said, a one-sided love story is not about the human who you are perceiving who's not involving themselves in the love story. The love It's a one-sided love story because you are creating what you want. So
Right.
you're creating in relationship to what you're experiencing, but like I said, always, always, always delete that person from the fantasy. Like, I am so amazing that I attracted this love. I have the energy that got me connected to a person of this caliber. I am so wonderful. Like, it's never about them, it's always about you and how wonderful you are and how amazing your energy is that you are able to attract that kind of energy, attract those kind of people, even if it's just a friendship. Like, you are still attracting and making those connections, and you are amazing because you're able to do that.
Right, right. I'm almost getting there. Like, it's the whole like, how like I've heard this word a lot described about myself, and I've used myself to describe myself this way as well, is that I'm like a lover girl? I just love, and just infatuation and just daydreaming, as you said? And it just sucks because like I just get so excited over nothing, but like it in the end, like I was telling also the like my therapist, I was like, how you had told me like, Shakira, like, I don't think you should be dating right now. And you were like, I think you should focus on therapy, and so I took that very seriously. And while I was seeking therapy, I was just meeting these guys
The test,
organically, not romantically.
the test,
Just
yeah.
just outside, and I was obviously, me, I'm super friendly, and I'll always be like, what's your Instagram, right?
Yeah, 'cause that's how you get connected and get them in your
Right, right. I was
orbit.
like, I want to see you again. Like, as a friend, whatever. Like, it's like window shopping. It's just eye candy. You're just a good looking person. But like, it was really good for me to continue to keep being outside because I felt like, oh, this person helped me get over so and so. And then I ended up meeting another person. And now, like, I just jokingly say, oh, I'm in love with this new person, right? But like, we both know it's like a one
You
sided
are
love
such a
story.
lover girl. I am too, but your lover girl status is like super super duper high. And I think that's why I am so like mean about my energy now, because at
Yeah.
heart I am a lover girl. Like, I want that love, I want that attention, I want that affection. And so when I'm not getting it, and when I'm expecting it and not getting it, it creates this whole negative situation that I'm trying to avoid. So,
Right,
yeah,
right,
but
right.
100% I congratulate you, but, like, when you're meeting those men, like, that is the test. It is constantly testing your ability to maintain those boundaries. It's constantly testing your ability to
Mhm.
move forward, and not create those over romanticized attachments. Like, can you be in real friendship? Can you match energy?
Yeah,
Because if you're thinking about them, it's okay to say hi, but
yeah.
if you're getting two-word responses, like, leave it alone till another day. Like,
Yeah, like, I will say the guy with the biceps, like, I saw him at another event, right? Like, that I go to. He goes to these events, right? These are all events that they're not free, you know? I'm not going with you. I just run into you there, you know? So
mhm.
I I was like, he's a super, super nice guy. And this is the one with the biceps, not the pretty boy, you know? So without me saying any names, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I know who
He's
you're
like,
talking about.
yeah, because the pretty one, I'm like so over him. I don't even remember his name, but like, but this one with the biceps, I was like, I asked him, I was like, hey, I parked my car pretty far. Can you walk me to my car? And I was like, hey, I want to get to know you as a person. Like, what are you about? And he actually performed that day, and he talked about like this poem, right? And he talked about like, his relationship. He was in a 6-year relationship, and it was everything but the ring. So I was like, do you miss her? Do you miss being in a relationship? Like, what are you doing right now? Like, and it made me realize, like, this man, like, he does date, he does approach, he does compliment women that he is interested in.
Mm.
So I'm really glad I talked to him. And I was like, I was about to just say his name, but I was like, we work so hard, we get all cute, and you go to this date and like you don't even get a compliment. And he said that when he's in a situation like that, he does give a girl a compliment. And I was like, I rarely get those compliments, but it's like it hit me how like it just goes back to the whole if a man wanted to, he would. Yeah.
Well, honestly, I don't even internalize I should. This is one of my toxic traits. I take the compliments for what they are. Like, you're beautiful,
Oh,
like,
that
oh
chocolate.
man, the chocolate comments are wild.
A girl, but
Um
like you would tell me them and I would like I just loved them. I was like, man, like I think I try to deny that words of affirmation don't do as much, but they always will. Like compliments will always be the way to my heart. Like I
Oh.
always tell you, I'll be like, give me compliments, Kevya, and you're like, that's not the way you give love.
Well, I have been trying to do better with that. I've been commenting on your social posts and stuff like that,
Yes, yes,
trying
you
to
have.
acknowledge that's a need for you. And
It
that's
is.
really what it is like who in your life is willing to acknowledge and make an effort, even if it's small, to meet your needs. For me, I think my primary love language is acts of service. So, like, compliments feel empty to me sometimes. Like, I don't need you to tell me I'm gorgeous. Like, I looked in the mirror today.
Yes.
So, like, for me, it's a little ego boost.
Yeah.
But it doesn't hit like the bottom of my core to get compliments. But yeah, I would say that, yes, if there are men watching, like, 100%, like, give the compliment.
Right.
Because if you I've been having this thought in my head. There is nothing like the way women love. Like, the way that my friends love me, this is why it's hard for me to stay in a relationship, because the way women love is so all encompassing and empowering that it's hard for a man to measure up to that. Like, if you have real women, real female friends in your life, like, it's very hard. In my opinion, I have yet to see a man measure up to that. And so my
Right.
standards for how I want to be loved are really high.
Right, right. Oh
Um,
my
and
god.
every time I try to lower my standards, I end up mad, heartbroken, and disappointed. So
Right.
we are no longer lowering the expectations. And until then, I'm just gonna keep letting my friends love me. I go
Mhm.
on dates with my friends, we go on adventures, we go and do all the things, or if I don't have my friends around, I do it for myself. My
Mhm.
journey for the past year, 2024 and 2025 into 2026, is self love. Like, what does it look like for me to put all that loving energy that I put into other people, into these men, etc., etc.? What does it look like to pretend like I'm in a house of mirrors and all of that is just bouncing back into me? Like, it can't escape it. All of my love is pointed back at me. What I
Right.
want, what I need, how I need to exist in the world, and what do I need to feel successful, and what do I need to feel loved.
Right, right. Oh my God, this is so empowering and uplifting. Like I am having so much fun. And I don't want to cut this short because I do have we'll do an extra 15 minutes if I know you're busy, you got things to do, and I know we said we're going to talk for 30 minutes, but this conversation is just amazing. I think it's going so good. And it kind of reminds me of something that I've been doing on my YouTube channel, okay?
What's up? Tell me
It's
about it.
called Dating Myself series.
Okay.
We've done episode 1 and episode 2, and we're about to upload episode 3.
Woo
And
woo.
if you get a chance, you can kind of watch it. They're like 6, 7 minutes. I've taken myself on a hike. I took myself out to sushi, ice cream. Like I am really, really spoiling myself, Nakivia. And the
Come
more I
on.
do it, like the more I want a man
No.
to do it for me. The more I want a man to do it for me.
It's okay to want a man to do it for you. It is. I'm not going to yuck that yum. But what's going to come out of it is that y- you won't waste your time with a man who's not going to do it.
Right, right. Because, like,
Because you're
okay,
going to know immediately if he's willing to do that.
right. I mean, because, like, the final connection that we're not talking too much about is because, like, um, you know, I'm respecting myself and them, of course, right? Like, it's like I said, it's a one-way love story. I'm the one in love, right? I was like, oh my God, this connection is magical. Like,
Ah!
I thought that there was something there, right? And so I'm not saying I'm chasing, pursuing, and like, you know, I am the initiator, I'm the planner with all friendships, platonic, romantic, you name it. I approach strangers, I ask men out. That's just who I am. I'm not saying I don't allow them to do that to me, but I'm just so extroverted. And if I'm bored and I want to meet somebody, I'm just going to be like, hey, can we meet already? Because I will say we got back on Bumble and no one is asking to see me. Like the conversations are
For
dying.
days and days and
No, but
days.
after 24 hours they disappear, right? So
Mhm.
like I have maybe 3 conversations and I'm just like I am about to ask one of these men out, you know? Cuz I have been dating myself. I just want to just hang out with somebody whose presence I enjoy. Like the final connection, the connection, the friendship that I made last year, I just was like, oh my God, I really enjoy their company. Like I've just been telling people, like, I just want to hang out with this person. They're just so much fun to just be around. Like,
But enjoying people, here's the distinction, I feel like.
okay,
Enjoying people, sorry to interrupt.
sure.
Enjoying people's company does not necessarily equal love. So, I
Mm,
think that that's a distinction that I would try to make
hmm.
in your brain, is like, I love this feeling. You focus on the feeling, you don't focus on the person, because that's
Hmm.
how you set yourself up to get, like, hurt. And also, like, how do you know it's a one-sided love story? Because that's
Mhm.
one of the things that I'm noticing about myself is that I don't communicate and ask questions. Like, I don't do that line of questioning with men to ask them what they're looking for or to ask them how I fit into their paradigm spectrum of friends, but also
Mhm.
those are like cringy questions. So I haven't figured out how to constantly and consistently be having that conversation to kind of eliminate some of the ambiguity that comes with hanging out with the opposite sex, because I don't know, and I would love to have a conversation with a man about this, because like, do they I feel like in my mind, men know what they want. Like, if they don't know what they want, that means that they don't want you. Like, it means that,
Mm.
like, if they are giving, I don't know what I want, that means that I'm not it.
Wow.
So, like, that's how I relate to men. But is it really that they go from friendship to, oh my God, I could see myself dating you? Like, is their expectation friendship first? Like, in my mind, I don't that's not true. So I would love to like sit down and talk to a man and be like, yo, if we hanging out as friends, like, is that like the end all be all, we're forever in the friend zone? Because my experience with men, and the reason why I don't have a lot of male friends, is because I'm walking into this expecting that we are friends. Like, I am not harboring any romantic feelings for you. I'm not even looking at you that way at all. And then out of the blue, all of a sudden, like, they're shooting their shot and I'm like, "What are you doing? Why are we here?" And I'm so confused. So
Mhm.
is the expectation is that they develop friendships in expectations that at some point they might transition you to their roster? Because if that's the case, I need to know.
Oh,
I need to
wow.
understand.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Cause I'm just remembering how like I want to thank you for being there for me that one time. You know how I was calling you from, on my way back from a church, remember? That was so funny. Like
Yeah.
I am so glad I did that and I called you and like you were there for me. Like all the answers and the questions that I had. I just that was like nobody knows about this other than you or maybe like two other people, you know? But
Oh
it's
my
okay. It's
goodness.
like it's on the internet. Like it's not a big deal. Like I had a great time and I learned so much, you know? And I mean all of these connections have just been like African American devout Christian men, you know? Like these are men of God. Like they're a high quality girl.
Girl.
I keep telling them to apply for the show, pop the balloon or find love, and I keep telling all my black friends to do it
That
because you have.
show is a spectacle. Like, I don't know that I really want to be a part of that. Like, that just feels like countercultural. That feels,
Okay,
I
okay,
don't
tell
know.
me more.
Maybe that show, well, I haven't actually watched the show. Like, maybe
Okay,
the
okay.
serious version of it. Maybe I've just been seeing the parodies with like the
And
super
maybe
ghetto
the
people.
viral clips and not like the actual show. Like
Yeah.
I want to watch an entire episode with somebody. Like I watched like it's usually an hour to like an hour and 45 minutes. Like these are really
Mhm.
long episodes. And of course what we catch is like the viral moments. Like, ooh, the pop the balloon. Like
Oh,
I've told all three of them to apply and they're like pop the balloon. Like they just don't take it as seriously as I do. And like, or
no.
you know?
Well, I like I said, I just feel like, I mean, it would be a good exercise for my rejection sensitivity, but it just feels like putting yourself on display to be judged by random humans who know nothing about you just doesn't
Okay.
sit well with me. Um But yeah, I think that it's a cool concept. And I think other people, yeah, people are like taking the concept and running with it
Right,
and turning
right.
it into a circus act. Cause some of the stuff that I've seen, I'm like, yeah, that's not for me.
Right, right. There are some moments that aren't highlighted because when you sit down and watch the long form content, it is a very just beautiful, beautiful conversations that are having, and
Hmm.
I just feel like it's just given me and my family not just entertainment, but like just kind of like a glance into a culture that we may not be that familiar with.
Mm.
And they really want to genuinely have connections and dates and like a love story,
But
you
isn't
know?
that show in Arizona? Like, what?
It is, but people
If I go
fly.
all the way to Arizona to find love, like my love is gonna be in Arizona.
Well, it could be anywhere because people come from Minnesota, people come from Las Vegas, people come from Ohio, New York, Austin,
Mm.
Texas. I've seen people who are open to long distance. People are getting flued out on dates.
Yo, if he got enough money so that he can cover the flute out, then he might have a chance.
I'm just saying, like, there are just people there for genuine connections, just like real love, and like it's just like the highlight of my week.
Girl, I got out of that relationship last year. I feel like I'm still toxic. Like I feel like I'm still radioactive. Like I'm not looking for love. If
Okay,
it
okay,
finds me, I am open to it, but for me, I still have some resentment that I have to work through, and I still have some things that right now to date me, it's going to take a special kind of man, a very patient, a very attentive, a very generous man to date me because that's the only way that I'm going to trust you. Like in order to gain my trust right now, that the human being who wants to gain my trust is going to have to be super kind, super generous, and thoughtful and a problem solver. Like he is like my next relationship is going to make my life so easy
right,
that I'm not going to have a choice but to walk into my femininity and walk into my soft girl era. Like
right,
that is the only way that you will see Nikivia in a relationship is if this human being presents himself and he finds pleasure in making my life easy.
right.
That's it.
Beautiful. Yeah. I mean, that's not asking for a lot, girl. That's just the bare minimum. Because you give
And but
so
as
much.
a black woman, like the bare minimum is like they act like it's freaking rocket science.
It's not fair. It's not fair. It's not right. I feel like because when you are in a relationship, just even our friendship, you give so much. You shower your friends, your partners with so much love and
Mm.
just you elevate them, you uplift them. Like I've always told you this, like I come to you with a problem, you come to me with a solution. I mean,
I have solutions. I don't
very
believe.
solution based, you just don't let the problem just be. You're like, let's figure this out together. Let's do some research and let's try to fix this because
But that's in my human design. Like
right,
bringing out the good for others is literally one of my gates, one of my gifts in my human design is anybody who's connected to me, like your connection, your the result of your connection to me is something better for you. Like that's literally who I am as a person. And it's not any effort for me to be that way. I'm not a gatekeeper. Like if I know something and you need to know it, you know it. Like that's who
right,
I
right.
am as a person. So I just find pleasure in watching other people win and watching other people grow. Like
Mm,
when I'm networking, because that's also one of my 2025 goals is to continue networking and get better at it.
mm.
But most of the result of most of my networking is opportunities for other people. Rarely
Exactly,
does
100%.
my networking present opportunities for my business. We got to change that. But
Right.
in my mind, it's all karma. I never gatekeep, and I never, if I come across an opportunity and I know who would be perfect for the opportunity, I'm putting that person's name in the hat because I know that look, the universe got me. Like I don't have any kind of qualms about seeing other people win, helping other people get to where they're going because I have a mantra. Anytime that I help someone else meet their goals, favor immediately finds me. I am the
Mm.
most favored person on the universe in the universe. So
Wow.
we
Yeah,
just gotta
that's
speak the words. Girl, them affirmations, I'm telling you.
yes, no, I'm really glad you got me back into journaling. I've been, journaling and remember on the way to the Sunday sessions and the way back the music that you had playing, remember? The
Yeah.
affirmations that you've been sharing
Change
with
your
me.
music, change your life. Get you some
Right.
Tony Jones, some Jiminelle, some Chris and Teeb. Oh, I just discovered Peach. I love her. She's a little bit more witchy. Shariah Wise just dropped a new album on my birthday. Like, oh, and can't forget Mr. Money Mantra himself, Mellow Will. Yes, all of these they started out as content creators. Um, and people were just really digging the vibes of the content that they were making, so they turned their content into actual music that you can stream.
Oh, wow. Wait, I mean, I don't want to make it about money, but like, hey, like another stream, you know, income,
Yes.
avenue. Like,
Yeah.
I really want to like focus on like money in 2025. I want to invite money and I just want to just
How does
attract
the
it.
TikTok dance go?
I really want to just, I've never been like a business savvy person, I've never like, whenever we talk about money, people, you don't want to look like that greedy, money hungry person, right? Like nobody wants to be that person who's chasing money. But like, there is something about living a luxurious life and just taking flights and just living the life, like, having financial freedom. Like, I want financial freedom. I want, like generational wealth. Like, I want to have multiple streams of income, like I want an increase. You know what I'm saying? Not in a raise, but just like kind of go up from one income bracket to another. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I've always been very shy about these things. I've been very like, you know what? I'm not this money hungry person. I'm not like this greedy like person who's chasing dollar signs, But we just
Girl,
we briefly talked about monetizing whatever social media or our YouTube, our Instagram, or Facebook. Like there's people who know how to do it. And like you said, the word gatekeep, they're not going to share it with you, They're not going to
unless you
show
pay
you.
them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You have to because, everyone's got bills, they have children to feed and people to take care of, And
Well,
like,
what
I
I will
just,
say in
mhm,
that regard is that's respectability politics.
mhm,
You have qualms about wanting money, you feel a certain way, or you feel like you'll be judged a certain way for wanting money because you have been socialized to believe that that's bad.
right,
When in fact, the universe wants you to want things. The
right,
universe, God, whoever you, whatever higher power you believe in, God wants you to want things. You have that design. Your soul is a part of the divine that lives in this human temple. And it is so expansive and so capable. It money is just an avenue, is one of the many avenues to your abundance. So, with that being said, one of the things that I am trying to do to heal my money wounds is, what are all the ways that I can invite money into my life? Like I talked about earlier with the coaching thing, I accidentally walked in to having a coaching offering. I went to go I got invited to do a tour of a facility because they wanted to talk about storytelling, and they wanted feedback on if I felt like they were telling the right story. Girl, at the end of that, after so I took the tour, I listened to their presentation, and I gave them my honest feedback. Like, you didn't do this, you didn't do this, you didn't do this. This was good. I really liked this. That's amazing. Why is that not on your website? Like, I had all these questions. They took me to lunch after and was like, "Hey, how can we stay connected? How can I continue to get this feedback, and I want to pay you?" Like, in my mind, I was volunteering. Like, this is what I do. I just help people. I have that gift of like having that foresight to bring ideas to reality and being able to bring out the good in what other people are already doing. And she was like, "No, you need to be paid for this." And so, what I will tell you is to look at your strengths. And like I said, I want to do a human design reading with you so that we can like kind of look at your chart to see what you might be not leaning into. Like, what strengths do you have? What do you naturally do? My money recommendation is to look at what you naturally do, the things that bring you joy. And
Mhm.
is there a way to lean into those already existing behaviors and invite money into your life through those already existing behaviors?
Wow, wow, oh my God. How do you feel about this conversation, by the way?
I'm having a grand time. It's
You-
been good.
Tell me
It
why you waited
definitely
5 years to do this.
because like I guess up until recently there wasn't, like, I didn't really understand the context of the invite. Like
Okay.
like now that I see, okay, you sent me a StreamYard link, like, okay, cool, we can do that. So like I guess for me the ask was kind of ambiguous
Mm.
until I was like, okay, you showed me what you're trying to achieve. I was like, oh, I can do that. Like, easy.
Right, right. Because I've been trying to get you to do an Instagram live with me, and that one you're very hesitant about, right? Because
I
it's
mean, now that we've established the boundaries of what we can talk about and what we not, I don't mind doing an Instagram live.
yes, like this was a good practice because I feel like this conversation, like I would love to revisit. Like we can revisit our goals. Like what we'll do today is we'll write down everything you said. Or unless you've already written it down.
No, I want to take the transcript and dump it into AI so that it can pull, the goals. Because we didn't even talk about your goals. We only talked about me. That's my bad.
And that's okay because this is about you. I want we there's just you're just a multifaceted individual and there were so many we talked about the community work, we talked about the business, the personal brand, like there was a lot and now we'll like use this to go forward, maybe do a live after after the event that we want to promote and host and like I
Yeah,
want to help you get the numbers up.
I would love that.
Yes, like I'm really gonna be pushing it, in my circles, and I already told you I'll be there. I'm gonna be helping people sign in, and I can share it with all those beautiful male friendships that I've made this past year.
Oh.
I'll be like, I know I'm not for you, but someone at this event might be.
Ah, you're hilarious.
I was like, I still want love for you, I do, even if it's not me.
Girl, look, I'm I feel like the men that I meet like know it that I am emotionally unavailable. Like
Would you ever give okay, the pretty boy? Would you ever date a guy like him? Like I feel like you're definitely his
he
type.
would have to work hard. He would
Okay.
have to work really hard because I don't trust pretty people.
You
I don't trust
don't?
pretty men at
Wow.
all. At all, at all. Like he would have to like really show up. He would have to pull out the stops. Like he would have to date me intentionally for me to even
Right.
entertain that. Cause I don't trust pretty men. I just don't. Sorry, pretty men.
Do you find him pretty? Like, did you? I mean, like,
He's
I
pretty.
just
He
yeah.
he got the curly hair. Like he's
Yeah, yeah,
pretty.
I sent okay. I sent one of my friends the picture. I think I might have sent it to you too. And she was just like, "Oh my god, I just want to run my fingers through his curls," you know?
Yeah, like he has the curly hair, like he has that tall, lean build. Like he is the quintessential pretty boy. And
100%, 100%.
like I don't even look at those men because in my mind that's trouble. Like you
Mhm.
think like a man it depends on if he like uses that pretty privilege. Like do you feel like you can have any woman that you want? And so you want a woman to behave as if she's lucky that you've chosen her,
Right.
because that kind of energy I don't entertain. Like
Wow.
if you are the prize, like a man that wants to believe that he's the prize, like I can't play that game.
Right, right. I mean, honestly, like I will say, I reached out to all these gentlemen, and I said Happy Thanksgiving. I said Happy New Year.
Girl, don't waste your energy on that.
Yeah, okay, I just said Happy Thanksgiving. I didn't say Happy New Year. Okay,
Mhm.
but one of the responses was so sweet, Nikivia.
Really?
Yeah, let me read it to you, okay? I want to read it to you. I sent it to all my friends and my sisters, and I was like, "This is so sweet." So I don't
Really?
regret it. I do not regret it. You know. So I said, let me see what I said. Okay. Well, my sister kind of helped me. She was like, "Hold on."
Come on, sister. What's
Okay,
good?
I said, "Happy Thanksgiving. I'm grateful to have met you." Is what I
Oh.
said. Okay, and they said, "Grateful for your caring spirit and generosity of your time and compassion."
Oh.
I just thought like, oh, like this is such a thoughtful response.
Yes, it is. That
I
was
re-
so like I said, those kind of humans who like put the thought into their words.
yeah.
Because I recently had a run in with a man who refused. This is why I'm not dating right now.
Okay,
This
okay, tell me
man
why.
refused to put any kind of thought into what he said to me. We met at a bar, we were talking for 3 days. By day four, I cut him off because he was constantly negging me. Like every compliment came with a critique. Every conversation there had to be something negative about me.
I
Like
remember that
we could be
weekend
talking
very
about
well.
food, we could be talking about movies. Every conversation there was something negative about me in it. And so, like I said, so moments like that where a man actually took the time to choose his words, that is so sexy.
Yeah, no, I was like, I'm really glad I reached out because, I'm the reacher out. You know me, I'm always reaching out to you too. Like, I was telling, like, everybody this. I was like, I don't want to be reaching out so much. I don't want to be initiating, making plans, but it just made me realize, you know what? Like, that stuff makes me happy. Like, I enjoy doing that. Like, I waited and I waited, like the final and third connection of 2024. I was like, hey, this is my Instagram, follow me. Because we were talking about finances and financial freedom, right? I was like,
Mm.
oh, they were asking me, what does that look like to you?
Ooh, when a
And they,
man talks about money, that's hella sexy.
yeah, so he said he's really good at budgeting, kind of watching where every penny goes and like, being on top of their game. And I was like, you know what? We need to be friends, okay? Follow me right now. So they followed me, I followed them back, and they were just asking me questions. Like, I was like, I want to travel to a new country every month. I want to be debt free. And they were like, they want like a private jet kind of a life, And they were just very, what's the word? Like inquisitive. Like, I had to take a step back. Like, I'm usually the one who asks the questions, right? And then when we came home, I mean, like, I came home and I was telling my sister, I was like, oh my God, like, I had this amazing conversation, you know? And she was like, don't message first, do not hit them up, just leave them alone. I feel like, you know what sentence I repeat a lot from, the things that you've told me from like 2020? You'll be like, Shakira, leave that boy alone.
Leave him alone
Yeah,
because like I said, the more energy that you put in, the more not unequal, the more unequal energy that you put in, like you will have to keep doing that. And then next thing you know, like you are pouring yourself into this human who's ignoring you.
right. So I will say that night I did get a message,
Yay.
and it was like, it said, great to meet you, or great meeting you, or something, right? And I was like, I didn't message him first. Like, this
Girl,
never happens.
you have to give them space to be men. One thing I learned in
Right.
my last relationship is that I was always problem solving and I was always trying to make his life easy. Like, and he ended up resenting me for it because
Wow.
like that is masculine energy to constantly to be the person putting in the effort, etc., etc. You don't give them space to
Right.
to be in their masculine energy. And honestly, I am a very masculine woman. Like I am an eldest daughter. Like I from day one, I come from a family of single women. So for me, there weren't my dad was around, but like my parents weren't together. And the man that lived in my household growing up was 100% feminine energy. Like he didn't work, he didn't pay no bills. Like my mom was the masculine energy. She was the person who was working, she was paying all the bills, she was taking care of me and my sister. So like I grew up in a family of masculine women. So it takes a lot of effort for me not to just walk in my masculinity. That's why I'm a CEO. That's why I'm a leader. It's because my life has put me in a set of circumstances to where like I walk in my masculine energy. Does that necessarily mean that I want to all the time? No, but that's how I learned how to survive, is to walk in that energy and to not depend on anybody, to not ask for help, to not do any of those things because
Right. The guy with the biceps, you wouldn't even let him open that lunchbox.
ah,
I was like, please, what are these muscles for?
ah,
And the other girl was like, don't ask a man. And I was like, no, I will, And I reminded him too. I was like, do you remember how they were getting mad at me for asking you to open this for us? And he's such a sweet gentleman. Like, he does not like, he wasn't like mad about it. He was like, oh, I remember, but like still not in a humiliating way to me. Like, he's also like, I asked him if he was dating or he was on the apps and stuff, and he said, he did do a lot of that, and he approaches when he wants to. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, the masculine thing, like that. I'm so glad you brought that up because I'm really, really trying to work on my femininity. Just let them come to me. It's hard because I chase and I'm so forward and I'm just like,
oh girl, I am too. Like I
yeah.
am the world's biggest flirt. Like if you so happen to catch my attention, like if you do get on my radar, I'm a flirt. Like the flirting, you can flirt without pursuing. Like
Mhm.
as a woman, I think one of the Tony Jones songs, one of those artists has a line in one of her songs where it's a song about femininity. Next time I'm listening to it, I'll send it to you when it
Yes,
comes up
please
to my
do.
playlist. But it talks about like as a woman, my place is to be an invitation. Like what does it look like for you to be an invitation, not necessarily a
Like a proposal.
Yeah, like a proposal or a provocation, like a
Okay.
provocation. What does it look like for you to be an invitation, not trying to provoke his action? Like when you're reaching out, you're asking questions, you da 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 da. That is you provoking. You are calling him to action. You are pushing him to action versus being an invitation. Like, what does it look like for you to be available but not too available,
Wow.
to be to express interest without like being overly interested? The way that you think about, and I'm processing this verbally as I'm saying it, but honestly, when you want to chase, like when you're chasing, think about what behavior you would want to see to inspire your chase and do that versus the chasing.
Right, right. Yeah, no,
So, maybe that Instagram selfie is real cute, and maybe there's an event happening, and oh my god, have you seen this? Not necessarily do you want to go, but like, oh my god, this is so cool, right? Like, what does it look like to give them the space to make the decisions?
right, right. That's because like that's something that I'm working on. Like taking a step back, just being
But
patient.
also, femdoms, we not gonna go into the naughty part of the world of the conversation, but also there are men out there who like dominant women. So, but the thing that I'm trying to navigate with men who like dominant women is, how do you navigate as a dominant woman, as a woman who has a take charge personality, as a woman with a big personality? Like, how do you navigate toxic masculinity? Because a man might be attracted to, this is what I keep running into. A man might be attracted to a dominant woman, but if you want to be with a dominant woman, that there still needs to be an understanding that if I'm driving all of these things, you still need to be putting resources into it. So if you want a dominant woman who knows what she wants and she tells you what she wants, you still need to be ready to pay for dinner because that's the dinner that she wanted. You didn't want to take your time to curate a dinner for her. You prefer to operate from a space of what she wants. So also you need to be, but it doesn't mean that she's paying for your shit. It Sorry, cuss words.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that she's paying for everything. You still need to be the masculine force. You still need to be the provider, even if she is the driver.
Right, right. Yes, like I would love for you to meet this friend because they're also like a CEO as well. And I
Mm.
think I think it would be really cool to see your both of your brains like connecting and coming up with ideas because like they're so cool and you're so cool. Like I said, this is like a friend who I just am just
Are
not
you a
like
matchmaker? Like, we really need to dig into your human design chart. Maybe you're meant to become Austin's like biggest matchmaker. Maybe you're
yeah.
meeting all these people and collecting all these people because you're creating your own little dating pool and you become a matchmaker.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I feel like remember when we were at the event together? I remember you were on your phone a lot. Oh yes, did you have something to say?
I just saw it. Like, have you ever seen, have you need to go find the Millionaire Matchmaker or those matchmaker shows. Like, that's what you need to be binging, cuz I feel like karmaically, like, I just got this download like in my brain. Like, I saw the brand with Shakira. the matchmaker, like I saw it in my head,
Wow.
like 100% saw the vision, like girl, you and honestly what's going to happen is through the karma that you create for making these matches, your ultimate match is going to come into the picture. Like I am
Wow.
on my most deepest prophetic moment. Like I am telling you. And I like I said, I can't wait. You need to get the location of your birth and the time of your birth so that
Okay.
we can look at your chart because I really feel like you could be a matchmaker and it would be so easy and intuitive, and you get to spend time with all these people because nobody gets to be in your database unless they go on a date with you first.
Right.
Like you get to screen and create all of you get to create these connections based on you getting to know these people, and in
Right.
the process, you're going to find your love.
Yeah. Okay. Going back to, our experience of meeting people outside, remember?
Mhm.
You know, we were just like the two people that we can kind of think about right now. It's just like the pretty boy and the guy with the biceps, right? Like,
Uh-huh.
I feel like who does Nikivia see herself dating more? Like, who would be the one that you would be mostly inclined towards? Like,
Honestly, neither of them are my type
no
because
way. Yeah.
who Nikivia is attracting, he is a CEO. He's about his business. He's always traveling. He has multiple streams of income. Like who I am, the relationship that I'm creating for myself, this man will not be intimidated by my power or success because he has his own. So
Wow.
a man who doesn't have like a booming career, a man who isn't constantly creating new sources of income and creating new business, like in my mind, my mate is an entrepreneur because he's the only person who's going to get it. Like
Wow.
a man who works a 9 to 5 job is probably not a man for me because he doesn't understand like the grind. He doesn't understand the ebbs and flows and the ups and downs of entrepreneurship. He's not a creative. He's probably he might be a problem solver, and I could be wrong. Maybe I do need a stable 9 to 5 guy
Right.
who isn't a hustler because that's what I need, somebody to create stability for me. I honestly don't know, but in my mind he has power and success of his own. That way I don't have to try to belittle or make my power and my success smaller to accommodate his ego.
Wow. No way, girl. This is okay. We gotta write this down somewhere. Is anybody taking notes right now?
I turned
Because
on
this
my
is
otter after our first conversation. That's why I was saying we need to take the transcript from this
yeah. Like,
and dump it
how would
into
I get a
AI.
transcript? How would you get one? Do you know how?
We
Is
can
there is there
we
an
can
option?
we can Google it. We can look it up when we get off. When we get off. But yeah,
The live,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Streamyard has a way to get the transcript. But yeah, I'm going to take the transcript and dump it into AI and tell it to make me a list of goals by category of my life. Like, a- AI is good for that. Like AI is really good because touch of ADHD, prioritization and organization are not my strong suits. But that's one thing I do find, that I can give AI a bunch of information and ask it to organize it for me, and it's amazing.
Oh yeah, like because there's a lot of gems that you just dropped, and I just feel like I'm so glad that this is being recorded on the first day of the year, so we can visit this because our event is going to be on the 1st of
February.
February. So it'll be a good little thing to like check in on each other, to be like, hey, we were, talking about these goals about attracting money and love, and kind of working through our just kind of like from our more feminine soft side,
Yeah.
and like just kind of being there to just hold each other accountable. And I feel like You're someone who really knows me and the way I operate and love and how I live my life, you know? And so it's good to I'm glad that I can be this honest
Mhm.
and vulnerable, and then you'll like
I
I know you'll
appreciate you.
yeah, and you never like judge me. You'll never remind me of these humiliating moments, you know?
Well, one thing I learned about people is that I used to be like that. I used to constantly like throw, not necessarily throw, but like remind people of their vulnerabilities and like things that they do wrong. And that's not who I want to be in the world. I really want to be a positive force for people to realize who they want to be.
Mhm.
So, like I said, 100%, I want you to feel your most empowered, and if I can do anything to contribute to that, I'm going to do it.
Right, right. Yes, I feel like you already do that as it is, you know, as a friend. So how can people find you? Like what's next for Nakivia? What's happening in January? We already know about February 1st. So, you know, everybody mark your calendars.
Oh, there's also a MLK march that I'm participating in. I'm not hosting it, but I'm definitely doing the MLK Day march. I don't know what's going on with Austin. If it's not on the same day or if it's in the afternoon, I might be attending some other MLK Day activities. Mostly right now, I have a huge website project that I'm working on, so work is really busy. Everybody's doing dry January, so Shakira, this is your time. Nobody's drinking. I don't know that I'm necessarily participating in dry January, but I don't drink that much anyways.
Mhm.
But yeah, everybody's doing sober hangouts. So this is gonna be your time to hang out with the people sober. Um, what else? I sent you a link this morning. I'm probably gonna get some all you can eat sushi. But more coffee dates with people from my social entrepreneurship class. Just getting to know people and really looking for those connections in the world, not necessarily for personal gain, just to continue helping people.
Wow, wow. Well, what about personal gain? Like how would you like to see your income and you know you said you want to go back to the digital nomad life, right?
Yes. I have a goal to eliminate 50% of my personal debt this year. So I ran Impossibility for 8 months. The company did not pay me. I was paying all my contractors. I've been paying everybody and not paying myself. So this year, my company will, and this is an affirmation, my company will pay me and it will help me eliminate that, and my other streams of income will help me eliminate 50% of my personal debt. For personal gain, how can you get in touch with me? Look, I am looking for B2B marketing contracts. I have a whole lot of experience with nonprofit marketing. So those are opportunities that I'm inviting. I'm always down to hang and go on an adventure. So hanging out and attending events around Austin. You can find me at Tellemkevya on Instagram. You can find me at impossibility with an I .com. You can find me at Nakivia dot the creativa if you want my personal Instagram. There are plenty of ways to find me.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I love that. Like, you are always going to be, you know, easy to approach and make, you know, a genuine connection with and just help people who are seeking, you know, improvement and growth in their lives, you know?
Yes, that's who I am. Like I said, I want to get a life coaching certification and I want to get a mediation certification. So after I get done taking the business classes, I'm starting a QuickBooks class. Um oh, yo, shout out to the Economic Growth Business Incubator. They have free, not free, almost free. They have really, really cheap entrepreneurship classes and free business coaching. So like they
Nice.
help mom and pop businesses like daycares, lawn maintenance businesses, professional services. They take you and they coach you on how to become profitable. Like they got people who are running daycares out of their living room buying commercial property. It's amazing. So I'm going to start taking classes with them and start doing business coaching with them.
Wow, we have a lot to look forward to.
And and as a volunteer opportunity, I'm going to be teaching a marketing class, I think, with them. So I'm taking their classes, but I also might be teaching with them this year as well. You know, I said I wanted a stage. I said I wanted a speaking engagement. They are coming from everywhere.
Wow. Oh my God. I would love to be an audience in
I'll let you
attendance.
know.
Yeah. I mean, we are already booked and busy for January and February, girl. We have a lot of links to send over. I have a lot of links to send over to you.
Crown. We are
Yes.
putting on our crowns, honey.
And I loved your outfit that you're gonna wear. Are you wearing that too on the first?
What? The
The
outfit
one
that
that,
I had on last night? The
yeah.
sequins?
Yes.
Yeah, no, that was my New Year's Eve outfit. You know, little razzle dazzle, little sparkle.
The
Today,
one at 3 a.m. that you were trying on.
oh no, oh, that was one that's one of the options that I have for Black History Month.
Okay.
Yeah.
For
But I think
that event.
yeah. Those are the outfits for that event. I don't think I want to do pattern on pattern. So I'm gonna find a solid top to go with one of those skirts. But yeah.
Wow, I
I
am
need
so
to do
excited.
a Amazon Black History Month try on video. I never do those videos because they feel inauthentic, but I need to get over that.
Yes, you just need, I feel like you need to be producing more because it's just so creative. I love the video that you did of us too, you know?
Yeah, I need to do more of that. And that's why I need to hang out with you more because you help me
I
feel
will
less
record you, girl. I'll record you. I'll get all the clips, you know?
yeah, you help me feel less self-conscious about recording in public. So I like hanging
Yeah.
out with people like you because it helps with the social anxiety of doing it.
Right. Oh my God. That was like, we did some really fun two events last year, right? The Sunday sessions and then the Dicky Day, you know?
Yeah. More to come.
Yes.
I'm trying to I think I'm gonna like put together like maybe a Slack group or something to where we can all share events to see if anybody wants to go. Because I've met so many women who are like, yeah, I need to network more, I need to get out more for my career, I need to do this. And I just feel called to start sharing like, hey, I'm planning on attending this. You know, if you want to go, like, let me know. I'll be there, or you can just meet me there.
Yeah. It's just like there's a lot of opportunities in this city, you know? There's a lot of
Exactly.
places to just grow and, make great connections.
Exactly.
All right, well, Nikita, we've been talking for like an hour and 37 minutes.
This
And it
might
was
have to be a two-parter.
yes, well, okay, what we could do is like maybe after we attend that event together or like meet there, the Black History Month event, we can maybe do something on Instagram Live or Facebook Live, like whatever you want to pick, you know?
Yeah. Well, can't StreamYard do all of those at the same time?
Yeah, it could, yes, it can. It could upload it on all of them.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
wherever you want to put it, I will hang out with you.
Yes, and then I will let you go. And now we know how to find you. We know what's next, and hopefully we'll do a another catch up episode. You know.
Yes.
Alrighty, let me hit the end stream button. We can still chat for a little bit. You know. And
Mhm.
then everybody, I will. Like I said, I have to put a lot of websites. You need to send me all those websites so I can put them in the description or even in the comments. You know.
Cool. I got you.
Yes. So let me go ahead and end this stream.